Dr. Jeff talks love. Dr. Jeff talks life. Answers your questions, cuts through the strife. Sex and intimacy, real and true. Evidence-based, made just for you.
Welcome back to Dr. Jeff Talks About Sex and Intimacy, the podcast where we explore the science, psychology, and humanity of sexuality, relationships, and emotional well-being. Well, I'm your host, Dr. Jeff Albaugh, advanced practice urology clinical nurse specialist, certified sexuality counselor, researcher, author, and educator. This is episode 85, The Power of Authentic Connection. Building relationships that last. Well, each week we have honest, evidence-based conversations designed to help you build healthier relationships, improve sexual well-being, and cultivate deeper intimacy with your partner and with yourself. So whether you're joining us for the first time or you've been listening since the beginning, I'm grateful you are here. So we're connected. We are across so many platforms. We are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on X. We're on LinkedIn. If you're a Facebook person, follow us. The more people who follow us, the more we can do on Facebook. And wherever you're following us, thank you. Keep following us. We're so glad you do. Visit the website to learn more about upcoming episodes. You can watch up anything. You can look at the calendar, pull it up, see what's coming up. All the great guests all the way through October, November. And also, you can pull up each past episode. You can watch them right there, or you can watch them on YouTube. But go to the website and you'll find out everything that's going on. You can take us with you wherever you go because we are streaming. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Where you go, we go. So if you're working out, work out with Dr. Jeff. If you're on the road, take us with you. Always glad to come along. As always, I'd like to take a moment to let you know that all are welcome here, whatever your sexual orientation, your gender identity, or your relationship style. This space and this place were created for you. Thank you for being here. The mission of the podcast is simple. It's to empower and enlighten you with evidence-based information that improves your sexual health, that deepens your loving relationships, so you can live your one miraculous, wholehearted life with more love. Well, today's episode is a little different because it's just you and me. When people think about intimacy, they often think first about sex. But before there is physical intimacy, there's emotional intimacy, the experience of feeling truly seen, heard, and accepted and valued by another person. That kind of authentic connection isn't something that happens by accident. It's built through trust, vulnerability, empathy, and the willingness to show up as our genuine, true selves. Unfortunately, many of us have learned to protect ourselves by hiding parts of who we are. We wear masks, we avoid difficult conversations, or assume our partner should somehow know just what we're thinking and how we're feeling. Over time, those patterns can leave us feeling lonely, even in a committed relationship. My hope is by the end of our time together, you're going to feel encouraged to take one small step towards being a little more open, a little more present, and a little more connected with the people who matter most to you. So let's begin. All right. The power of that authentic connection, so powerful, and I'm excited to talk about it. But we are more connected than ever. 1 in 3 adults report, but despite that, because we're so connected, we can be connected across miles and miles and miles. From across the world, we can be connected, but still, recent study, 2023, 1 in 3 adults report feeling lonely on a regular basis. Now, the average person spends 6+ hours a day on screens. Yet, so they're connected in a lot of those ways, but they feel less understood and more isolated. Wow, that's what the research shows. Was I challenge you to think, when was the last time you felt truly seen by someone in your life? Truly seen by them, and what did that feel like? Think about that. I think that felt pretty wonderful. I had this amazing experience over the weekend where I was with my grade school buddies from the neighborhood. We grew up together and we had this crazy, awesome connecting dinner together. It was wonderful. Then I attended a wedding where the bride and groom just really showed up and all of their love showed up with them. It was so cool. So those moments are so precious and so great. Authentic connection, it's a whole lot more than just being connected together. There's different levels of connection. There's surface connection, which is really you're sharing a space. It's small talk, it's routine, nothing wrong with it, but it's sort of casual chit chat. Then there's authentic connection, which is being fully known and fully accepted. Now that requires presence, honesty, and courage. Courage, because you feel a little vulnerable when you show up that authentically in your present. But boy, is it a wonderful, beautiful thing and so worthwhile. Well, who cares? Why does this even matter? Well, authentic connection is a health issue. Yeah, it's not just feelings. Feelings are important too, but it's a health issue. A Harvard study showed, this is pretty amazing. This Harvard study on adult development, all right, it showed that close relationships, when you have close relationships, that is the number one predictor of long-term happiness and health. Two things all of us want more of. So close relationships are a key to both happiness and health. Loneliness actually raises cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And we don't want that. It puts us into fight or flight, not a good place to live. It suppresses our immunity, our ability to fight off infections and for our body to do what it does so well. And it shortens our lifespan. So it's really a monumentally important health need that you be authentic and connected to others. Now, emotional intimacy directly predicts sexual satisfaction, according to the Gottman Institute. So people who are sexually satisfied have emotional intimacy. And feeling seen actually activates these amazing reward centers in the brain, the same as physical touch does. We've talked before about these reward centers and dopamine and all those great neurotransmitters that do wonderful things that activate our brain's feeling of reward or satiation, which is pretty darn cool. So what keeps us from being real? So many things, right? What we want more than anything in the world is deep, authentic connection and acceptance. But what we fear the most is deep, authentic connection. It's scary. So it's a fear of rejection. Well, if they really see me, if they know who I really am, they're not going to love me. They're not going to want anything to do with me, right? There's shame and self-concealment. We often wear masks. We hide parts of ourselves. We're not real or authentic because we're afraid we'll be judged. And then we live in this distraction culture. We distract ourselves with our phone. Can you even walk down the street with people on the bus, on the street? Their eyes are down. They're distracted. This is part of the armor that we have, this busyness, this armor, so we don't have to be real, authentic, and show up. Really important to show up. Distraction culture is not healthy. Past wounds also, those old betrayals, teach us that it's probably safer to stay guarded. That voice in your head is a culmination of past trauma, and it's going to tell you, oh no, don't let yourself open up. Don't be real. It's a liar. The voice in your head is often a liar because it's a culmination of past trauma. Past wounds make you afraid to be real and authentic. As my therapist told me, at this stage of your life, what is the point of not showing up authentic, real, and who you are? At this point, you got to know enough to know to do that. And it is really, really important. So And then we have that, we perform those different personas, social media selves, that Christmas card self. Oh, everything's fabulous. This is all the wonderful things we're doing. That Facebook self, maybe. Those social media selves versus who we really are. Huh. Wow, the trials and tribulations of getting through the week. Yeah, this week this thing pinched me really bad on my arm, and then I had to stop everything I was doing, reboot, and start over. Or like my wife, who fell off her bike because the chain came off of her bike and had to completely rework her entire day. Or I had to take this medication for this problem. Nobody wants to necessarily hear about your constipation, your diarrhea, your hemorrhage, or whatever. God knows, fill in the blank, right? So we don't always show who we really are, but who we really are does count, and we can show up for real. So vulnerability is the only path, as Brene Brown has said over and over. It is the only path to love and belonging. It is the only path to creativity. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of trust. It's where trust lives and is born. I love Brene Brown's work. If you haven't seen it, read it. It's amazing. She says vulnerability is the only bridge to connection. It's the only bridge to authentic connection, feeling seen, heard, and valued, as she says. Sharing uncertainty, fear, or imperfection signals, I trust you with the real me. I trust that I can show up with you and it's okay. You still want to be sensitive and kind, but the real me can show up. In relationships, it invites your partner to do the same thing. I love you with all of your flaws, with all of your different things, and I love the real you. How good it feels to be loved and accepted for who we truly are with all of our blemishes and flaws and cracks. The cracks are what let the light in and let us see more, but they scare us. So we have that vulnerability loop. One person opens and is vulnerable. The other feels safe to open. Trust deepens, and round it goes till we have a wonderful, authentic place we can show up. And I'm so blessed to be able to do that with my wife, with my family, with my best friend, with my best friends. And I have wonderful people that I can show up and be real with, and they can show up and be real with me, and we can just sit in that wonderful space and place together. My favorite place to be, for sure. Emotional safety is the container for intimacy, period. You can't be real where you don't feel safe. Let me repeat that. You cannot be real if you don't feel safe. Safety is an absolute prerequisite. Emotional safety means I won't be judged, I won't be mocked, I won't be dismissed or punished for being honest. Dismissiveness is one of the number one issues I see with my couples that I see in couple therapy, in practice. And many couple therapists will say that too. Often we have trouble sitting with negative or hard feelings, so we dismiss them. So we don't want to judge. We don't want to mock. We don't want to dismiss or punish. We want to be able to show up and be real. So how do we do this? It's built through consistency, over and over and over, being able to do this. Reliability, knowing that it's okay, always. Non-reactive listening, sitting with feelings, sitting with difficult conversations, sitting in those spaces and just being there. Not reacting, but being in that space and place and allowing the experience and the feelings to exist. My wife always reminds me, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen and be supportive and sit in this space with me. And then using repairs after conflict, owning what you did right or wrong, and working on repairs. So what destroys safety? What destroys intimacy? Well, that would be the 4 horsemen. That's contempt. That's making it personal. When you did this and the way you did that, you never, making it personal. Contempt. Criticism. Who wants to be criticized? And when you make it personal, then it's contempt and criticism. And so then you're like, well, gosh, I just won't say anything because everything I say is wrong. That's stonewalling, and that doesn't work either. Or becoming defensive. So as they're talking, you're creating your defense. Then you're not really actively, empathetically listening. And so defensiveness doesn't create a space to sit in feelings with others. So those are the 4 horsemen that kill intimacy and safety. Safety is not the absence of conflict. It is not the absence of conflicts. It's the presence of respect, mutual respect. So, so important. Okay, so the power of being truly heard. I can't say enough about the greatest gift you can give others is to show up authentically and really be present for that other person. Feeling heard changes everything. Everything. Most people listen to respond. They're thinking of their response, not to understand. Can you listen with the sole concept of every fiber of your being wants to understand desperately? What is this person I love trying to tell me? What do I need to learn from them? I really want to get this. This is important. Empathetic listening is reflecting back feelings, not just facts. I heard you say this, and what I got was that you're feeling these things. Does that sound right? Checking in and making sure you're understanding both the feelings and the facts. That's empathetic listening. The simple phrase, well, that makes sense, can shift the entire emotional tone of the conversation. I get it. Wow, I'm really understanding how you're struggling. Those phrases can make a big difference. Think of a time, just for a minute, stop here and now and think of a time when someone truly listened to you. You felt truly heard. How did that change things? How did the energy in the room change? When someone really listens, it's life-changing. When someone really feels heard, it's life-changing. Show up, listen, be present. So important. All right. So how do we do this? How do we put it into practice? Because that's what we're also here to learn is how do we put this into practice? Here are some very simple things you can do. The 6-second kiss. It's intentional greeting. It's not a peck. It's a 6-second kiss. It increases these wonderful attraction and bonding chemicals in our brain. 6-second kiss. Daily check-ins. What do you need from me today? What's going on with you today? What was wonderful today? What was challenging today? Daily check-ins. Curiosity questions. Ask something you don't already know. There's got to be something you don't already know. You'd be surprised. And you can look online to find amazing questions, to find ideas for those. Put your phones down and pick up your love life. We had a whole episode on that. Put down your phone. 30 minutes a day of undivided presence. Put your phones down. Turn off your screens. Look, listen, feel. When you go to dinner, look into each other's eyes. Be curious about each other. Engage. Bond. Be emotionally connected. Oh, gratitude. I did a whole episode on gratitude. So appreciation rituals. Gratitude is amazingly powerful. Name a specific thing you are truly grateful for that's real about your partner and let them know. How did that make them feel? And then when you do your repairs, when you make mistakes, and my wife will be happy to tell you I make mistakes even though I teach this stuff all the time. Sometimes I really stink at this even though I teach it, okay? So, but the bottom line is make repairs. Don't let things fester. I really want you to know how sorry I am that I reacted in an unacceptable way earlier today. And the things I said were hurtful, and I am really, really sorry. I love you, and that's not what I want to come out of my mouth. I'm going to work on this. So that's how we do quick repairs. What is so important for us? Remember how we've said, show up. Everyone wants to feel seen, heard, and accepted. These are the pillars of lasting intimacy. Three things: seen, my partner notices me, my moods, my growth, my efforts. They're curious and they notice and watch and engage with me. They turn towards me, as the Gottman Institute would say. This is research-based stuff. Being seen, being heard. You care about my thoughts and my feelings, and those are received without judgment. Very, very important. Feeling accepted. I am loved, not despite my flaws, but as a whole person. Me, I'm accepted with all my brokenness, with my cracks, with my flaws. Wow, that is true love. It's a choice, it's an action, it's a verb. But true love means you see me, you hear me, you accept me. It means I see you, I hear you, and I accept you. These are the pillars of intimacy. Very important concepts. So, connection and physical sexual intimacy is really important. Real intimacy begins outside the bedroom. People always laugh and say, you always say that foreplay starts 24 to 48 hours before sex, and that is true. Real intimacy begins outside the bedroom. It begins with connection, engagement, feeling truly bonded, truly connected. Emotional disconnection is the number one driver of sexual dissatisfaction in long-term relationships. So it's the negativity. There's nothing to fight for that causes divorce and breakup. So the number one driver of sexual dissatisfaction and also causing divorce and things is that overall negativity, that emotional disconnection and negativity. Feeling desired does not equal feeling connected. Feeling connected is so much more than feeling desired, but feeling connected enhances desire and makes me want to be with you. So, see how that works? Authentic communication about needs, desires, and boundaries deepens physical intimacy. So that authentic, you're never going to get comfortable communicating unless you start. And you start by talking about your needs, your desires, and your boundaries, or being curious about your partner's needs, desires, and boundaries. This will deepen your physical intimacy. And then also, don't forget that partners who feel emotionally safe, emotional safety is a must, are more willing to be vulnerable physically. Why would I be vulnerable with you when I don't even feel safe with you? This is really, really important. So here's my invitation to you. One brave step this week. What is that step you could choose? Choose one of the following. You could choose your own, but here's a couple suggestions. Share something real with your partner that you've been holding back, something authentic and real that you are willing to share. Ask a question you've been afraid to ask, or be curious about something with your partner that's loving and kind, not something that is offsetting. Put the phone down and pick up the love. Pick up the relationship. Give 30 minutes of undivided. That is nothing out of a 24-hour period. 30 minutes of presence. Give that to your partner as often as you can. Say to your partner, I want to understand you better. Tell me more. Tell me more. If you need questions, there's so many great connection questions out there on the internet. Just look it up, Google it, search it, GP chat it, whatever, and you'll find lots of good things. So what am I trying to get across to you about this topic tonight is that authentic connection is fundamental. It's a fundamental human need of each and every one of us. It is not a luxury. It is not optional. Daniel Goleman's entire book on social intelligence is about that subject. Look it up. It's a whole book on the research that says you and I, we all have to be deeply connected to others. It's not optional. Authentic connection is imperative. Vulnerability and emotional safety are the foundations of lasting intimacy. Vulnerability and safety, super, super important. Small, consistent actions build deeper bonds than grand gestures. It's little things every day, every way, little choices we get to make every moment of our lives. Feeling seen, heard, and accepted predicts relationship satisfaction more than any other factor. They are the pillars of intimacy. Connection's a practice. It starts with you. You got to practice it each and every day. Lots of references because this is all evidence-based. Some of these are sentinel references from way back to 1988, but those studies still stand tall today. Some of them are newer references from 2023, but lots of good science to talk to you and convince you how important authentic connection is. So that is a really, really important thing for you. All right. Well, I would like to, as we do at this portion of the podcast, I would like to go to our centering closing exercise. And so we will do that. And this is a closing exercise I call coming home to connection. So as we come to the end of today's episode, I'd like to invite you to take a few moments to reconnect, not with someone else just yet, but with your own miraculous self. If you're able, gently place both feet on the ground and find a comfortable seated position. Allow your shoulders to soften. Any stress, allow it to melt away as you breathe. Take a slow, deep cleansing breath in your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. And as you exhale, let go of any tension you feel throughout your body. Continue that breathing pattern. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. As you inhale, breathe in calm. As you exhale, breathe out any tension you've been carrying that no longer serves. As you continue to breathe, bring your attention to your heart. Ask yourself, when do I feel most like my authentic self? When do I feel most like my authentic self? Pause for just a moment and simply notice whatever comes to mind. When do I feel like my most authentic self? There's no right or wrong answer. What answer comes to mind? Now, could you think of someone in your life, a partner, family member, or close friend, or even someone you're hoping to reconnect with? Think of that person. Imagine looking at that person with openness and curiosity. Silently repeat these words. May I have the courage to be seen. May I have the compassion to truly see others. May I listen with my heart. May I speak with honesty and kindness. May my relationships be places where love, trust, and authenticity can grow. Take a final slow breath in and slowly exhale out. As you move through this next week, remember that authentic connection isn't built through grand gestures. It's created one conversation, one act of kindness, one moment of presence, and one courageous act of vulnerability at a time. So, Vic, what's up next week on Dr. Jeff Talks About Sex and Intimacy?
Pain during deep penetration, known as collision dyspareunia, is a common but often overlooked condition that can affect intimacy and quality of life. In this episode, Dr. Jeff and guest host, Dr. Susan Kellogg Spatt, are joined by Emily Sauer, founder and CEO of Oh Nut and Kiwi. They discuss the causes of collision dyspareunia, including endometriosis, pelvic floor dysfunction, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts, and changes after cancer treatment. Emily shares the story behind Oh Nut, an innovative intimacy device that helps couples customize penetration depth to reduce pain while maintaining pleasure and connection. Together, they emphasize that painful sex should never be considered normal, highlighting the importance of open communication, reducing stigma, and seeking knowledgeable healthcare providers. Join us on September 1st at 7 p.m. Central Time to learn more.
Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I encourage you to share it with someone you care about. Together, we can create a healthier relationship. We can create healthier relationships, stronger intimacy, and more meaningful connection. Until next time, I hope you take care of yourself. Take care of each other and the people you love. And remember that the most powerful relationships begin when we have the courage to simply be ourselves, the courage to show up with curiosity, to love more deeply. And that's what I hope and pray for you. Thank you.
Who's Dr. J?